Hello students, I am Nalge ma'am from Shri Shivaji Vidya Mandir, Aundh. In previous lecture, we have seen till the lysosomes. Now we will see vacuoles. We have already seen the endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex and lysosomes. These are three cell organelles which is present in the cell. Okay. And now towards we will see the vacuoles. Basically, vacuoles are the membrane bound sacs. That means this vacuole will have a sac like structure and it is always found in a plant, and it has a semi permeable membrane. Why semi permeable membrane? Because it have a capacity to transport the fluid like substances. It will be a liquid, it will be a water, it will be a nutrients, minerals, like that. So it has a semi permeable membrane. And these vacuoles also present in animals, but they are very few in number. But in plants they have a large number. Now this semi-permeable membrane is called as a tonoplast membrane. Why tonoplast membrane? Because it is bounded by a semi-permeable membrane. And this membrane, that means this membrane has a particular function, and that function is this semi-permeable membrane maintains the composition of a vacuolar fluid called as a cell sap. How it maintains? That means vacuolar fluid means, I have already told that it has a capacity to transfer the liquid or fluid like water, like minerals, any other liquid. So that all over liquid fluid called as a vacuolar fluid. Why vacuolar? Because it is present in a vacuole. That's why it is a vacuolar fluid, and this maintains the composition of vacuolar fluid. That means every liquid or every mineral or every nutrient will have a particular composition, and that particular composition will maintain the vacuolar fluid, and this phenomenon is called as a cell sap. So what is a cell sap? That means it is a cavity like structure or a sac like structure, and it stores the proteins and ions. So that's why this cell sap is called as a storehouse. Why storehouse? Because it stores the ions and proteins. But where? There is a two types of vacuoles. One is a large vacuole and another is a small vacuole. So this large vacuole will be store ions and small vacuoles will be store proteins. So this is the function of this cell sap. And these vacuoles stores the excretory products or harmful products also. That's mean in animals or plants there is a excretory system, right? So in this excretory system, what is the function of excretory system? This system will excrete the all waste product and as well as harmful product, right? So that particular vacuoles will store that waste product and harmful product in it because it has a sac like structure. Okay, got it? Now we will see the glyoxysomes. So this is a very short topic, glyoxysomes. You can see this is the diagram of a glyoxysomes, and you can see there is a membrane, there is a matrix, and there is a core. The middle structure is called as a core. outer structure will be a membrane, and between membrane and core there is a fluid like structure will called as a matrix. Okay, and this matrix will contain the various enzymes, and that particular enzymes will converted into fatty acids to sugar. That's why this glyoxysomes stores the fats, because this fat will ultimately get converted into sugar. And why it happens? Because this starts the photosynthesizing on its own. That means this enzyme will get converted into fatty acid, and fatty acid get converted to the sugar. And when it happens, fatty acid get converted into sugar, at that time photosynthesis process get started. So this is the main function of the glyoxysomes. What? When fatty acid get converted into sugar, at that time it started the photosynthesis. So we have seen two cell organelles. First is the vacuoles and second is the glyoxysomes. These two are a very short topic or a short cell organelles. It have a particular structure and particular function. That's it. Now we will see the mitochondria. This mitochondria is a little bit big cell organelle or a big topic, so we will see in descriptive manner. Now see the screen. On the screen you can see this is the diagram of a mitochondria, and if you will see, so there will be a outer membrane, inner membrane and intermembrane space. It will have also matrix, ribosome, DNA, cristae. So all these parts we will see one by one. First we will see the outer membrane, after that inner membrane, and after that intermembrane intermembrane space. So basically this mitochondria is called as a powerhouse of the cell. Why powers of the cell? Because in this mitochondria and in this matrix there is a all enzymes, DNA, RNA, all types of ribosomes, lipids, various enzymes are present. So this mitochondria have a lots of power, and ultimately we need energy or we need a power, then ultimately mitochondria synthesis the ATP. That means DNA synthesis the ATP, and ATP means the energy. So that's why this mitochondria called as a powerhouse of the cell. Basic thing is that mitochondria is the very important cell organelle. Why it is a very important cell organelle? Because it involves in the aerobic respiration. So that's why it is an important cell organelle. It is a double membrane organ. That means it has a outer membrane also and it has a inner membrane also, and it also has a intermembrane space also. So outer membranes means this cell organelle or this mitochondria have a outer covering called as outer membrane, and this mitochondria is also have a inner membrane, that is a inner covering called as a inner membrane. But there is a space between outer and inner membrane, and it is called as a intermembrane space. Why it is inter? Because it is present inner side between outer and inner membrane, so it is called as a intermembrane space. and this outer membrane is a very permeable. Why it is a permeable? Because it has a capacity to transfer the proteins or any other small particles, and this inner membrane will be a selectively permeable. Why this selectively permeable? That means selectively means only selected material or selected minerals or selected particles will only enter into the inner membrane, and other will didn't enter in the membrane. And this I have already told that, and this both membrane, that is outer and inner, will differentiated by a intermembrane space. Now this inner membrane will show the ribosome, matrix, DNA, cristae. So first we will see the cristae. Cristae is just a finger-like structure. You can see in inner membrane, you can see this is the finger-like structures will called as a cristae. And also these cristae have a several folds. This inner membrane also have a small particles which is present inside, called as a oxysomes and cytochromes, or it is also called as an electron carrier. These oxysomes we will see after that. First we will see the all the cell parts. And this inner membrane also have a matrix, and in this matrix DNA, RNA, ribosomes, that means all types of ribosomes, 70S RNA, lipids, various enzymes are present, and this enzyme will ultimately help in a Krebs cycle and other pathways. This Krebs cycle or other cycles or other pathways are the pathways. It will include the all carbohydrates, glucose and other nutrients, and it will have some enzymes that means it will synthesize that particular nutrient, and all these will present in the mitochondria. Now I recently mentioned one word called as oxysomes. Basically these oxysomes is present in the inner membrane of the mitochondria, and this inner membrane will have a small dot like structure. You can see in the diagram here some dot like structures are present, and that is called as oxysomes. These oxysomes will have a head, pedicle and base. Head means it will have a circular topmost structure. After that it will have a some pillar like structure which is connected to that particular head, and it will have a base. So this head will called as a F1 particle or a F1, and this pedicle will called as a F0, and this head has a particular function, and that is a this head will act as a enzyme for ATP enzyme ATP synthase. This ATP synthase is a name of a enzyme, and this foot will act as a proton channel. That means this foot will transport the proton from this proton channel, and this head will be act as a ATP synthesis. And main function of these oxysomes are involved in a proton pumping and ATP synthesis. That means this head and foot, that is a base, these both part will involve in a proton pumping. That means proton pumping and as well as ATP synthesis. That's all for today. In next lecture we will see the other organelles. Thank you.